specific Bible verse or maybe like a worship song that's been getting you through your time as either since you've moved here or in the past months?
I don't know the reference. I want to say it's like Psalm 18, like 1 and 2. And it says like, I love you, Lord, my strength. You are like a rock and my cornerstone. And that might not be Psalm 18 at all. But there is a verse, I think, in Psalms where he's just like, you are my rock and my cornerstone. Because, I mean, if I was out here doing this willy-nilly, I think it would just break me. I think I have a lot of work friends that we talked about that are not Christian. And I don't know how sometimes they get through it. I just don't, because I don't think I could do it without him.
Wow. So you and I both grew up at EFCC and we went to the same church. We met, you met a lot of your closest friends, both at Classical High School, which is where you went, that they ended up kind of just going to EFCC. Like a lot of your friends also went to EFCC. But since you've moved here, you've changed churches. So, and you're very close to these friends because we were all in the same friend group. So, how has that affected you? Was it difficult to kind of join a new group? How would you speak to someone who maybe is going through that transition? It
was terrifying. I didn't want to do it. I've had the same friends since like the 5th or 6th grade, and then turned 25 and moved to a completely different state with just Nate, who I loved and wanted to do that with. He had lived here before we got married, so he had done some church shopping, and then I attended the church that we go to now with him, and he was like, "This kind of feels like a good one." Yeah. You know, like they preach the Bible as the Bible is, and they don't interpret it for something else. Yeah. So we went there. It was September of 2019 that we got married. We signed up for small groups the end of fall because they had just started the fall session, but then COVID hit. Yeah. And we did not get to go to a small group till this following September when I started nursing school. Wow. So it was just Nate and I in our little apartment for a while, which was a tough transition, not because he wasn't enough for me, it was just because I didn't have any sense of community anymore. And even though we could fly down to San Diego and see family and friends, COVID was happening. So we really couldn't fly down to San Diego to see family and friends. And then when we finally got assigned to a small group, I was like, I'm not going. I hate meeting new people. I'm very secretly shy. I'm super loud at work and I like out and about, but inside I am so shy and I don't like putting myself out there. I remember pulling up to our first small group meeting and just like crying in the car really quick because I was just so nervous. Yeah. I know those people are some of my best friends. Yeah. And we actually lived before we moved to this house. New house alert. New house alert. We lived in our small group leader's granny flat for 3 years. And it was the best. Cried about that yesterday. We did. And that just shows how precious it was. That just shows how precious that time was and how the community has been so precious to you that now it's like you're going to have a hard time moving on from here to the next place if and when someday. Can't get there yet. I know we won't talk about that maybe, but I think it's really cool to see how it's encouraging to see that even if you are really shy and you've built a really good community back home, you can do it. You can move on and find a new group of people who are going to be there for you. Just be brave even while you're scared. So even in your experience of meeting this new community, like you said, you were at home with Nate in this time of COVID. How have you seen your faith play a role in your marriage and in your career? Are there ways that you've seen God work in both areas or maybe individually? Definitely in both areas. Because Nate and I have relied on each other so much, especially during COVID times where it was just us. I mean, we're people, we're broken, and we'll never be all that the other person needs. So you definitely just need God as the person that we are individually relying on. Usually when they tend to like bash religion or like really scream about things that I feel differently about, I'll be like, well, I'm a Christian and I'm not in here, hating on everybody. I think that's a big thing, especially in the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of like homosexual, transgender patients, and I just love on them the way that I love on any other patient. Yeah. And I think that's weird for a lot of my coworkers. Okay. Like they'll be like, oh, I didn't know you were Christian because you were kind to these people. And I'm like, I'm not going to not love people.
Right.
Like, God called us to love our neighbor, period. Right. So I do try to bring up that I am a Christian, even though I think I might be the only one I know on my shift. And I just have to kind of pray about when to speak and when to not in those situations, as far as like, because a lot of them I think have experienced Christianity in such a poor and judgmental light.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be the person like screaming you're going to go to hell.
No one wants to hear that.
I also don't want to be silent. So praying about that a lot, just guiding me when to speak and when to not has been pretty big at work also. Okay.
Even you mentioning that there's not really a Christian community at work, which can sometimes be super helpful just as a starting base point of like going to work every day and being like, I know my job is hard, but at least I have this community that we're on the same level. So even just as that, you don't have that and you have a very demanding job. How do you balance having a demanding work life and your responsibilities at home? What would you say to other women who are juggling a difficult job and even just a role as a wife at home as your responsibilities?
I don't know that I do a great job of it. Like we mentioned before with Tiana, she's just such a hard worker all the time. I get home and I'm exhausted. Like, and I'm not the greatest wife to Nate. Nate is so gentle and forgiving and loving and just, I think, knows I'm so exhausted that I don't know what my traditional like answer is. Like, yeah, I fulfilled my wifely duties today. Like I come home and I try to be kind to Nate. We work nights. So like we'll come home, we'll have breakfast together. We'll decompress a little bit, you know, and then go to bed, wake up, help each other pack lunch and then go. And I mean, the days that we work, we are not spending time together. It's breakfast when we get home, bed, wake up. I leave like 2 hours before him. Yeah. Make coffee, give him a hug and a kiss and go. So I don't, on our days off. Yeah. I'm also exhausted. So it kind of depends on the night before, on the shift before. And I think he's been very helpful and be like, we should go outside today and we should get up today. And I think I don't have enough self-drive sometimes. So have a really great husband. I don't know if that's advice, but I think it's something I am actively praying about currently. This question is just kind of like, how can I balance this more at home so I'm not giving all of my energy to work? Yeah. And not able to give any energy at home. Right. Because if family is watching this, not that we're planning on having any children soon, but if we were to have children, I cannot imagine doing that. Yeah. I just can't. I come home and I barely take care of myself. So we're working on it. I don't have really good advice. If you have advice, let me know.
Put it in the comments below.